At this point, This is Dabu 7. We have the White House now sending out a strong warning to prepare for a cyber attack. And of course, you know where the finger's pointing. But they're urging local cybersecurity teams to get it together and to be on guard for what's about to happen. They say that this is a perfect storm. And you have to say that the stage is set here for anything to happen and then point the finger at you-know-who. Because here on this world stage, the tit for tat has gotten to a point to where cyber attacks in Ukraine have gone large scale, involving Russia, the United States, other entities on the ground there. But now they're saying here in the United States, you better prepare for certain sectors to get hit. They're saying what they're going to use is called a wiper. Funny how they just know everything here in advance, huh? It's not going to be ransomware attacks. It's going to be a wiper. And a wiper is different. It comes in, it encrypts your data, and it pretty much destroys everything that it runs across. That's why they call it a wiper. It just wipes everything out. So they also put Duke Energy on alert. Duke Energy is one of the largest energy providers in the country. They say that they're probably an attractive asset for these people to target. They have seen at Duke Energy alone an increase in phishing and cybersecurity breach attempts up 81% from January to February of this year. We don't have the data from February to March. The month's not up, but as soon as we get that, we'll go over that on the live stream. So just a heads up here, as the strong warning is being put out across the board. This local report out of Cincinnati showing how they're having to deal with this, and at this point, it's almost like it can happen at any time, any minute. And when it does, you already know they're going to be pointing a finger at Russia in this instance. So it's like a given something is going to happen here. Again, strong warnings going out to different cities, specifically energy sectors. Everything we've been warning about for a decade. It's not a question of if, but when. Okay, you should have a plan for when the lights go out, for when they shut down the banks, the electric, and everything else. You sure should. Gonna leave links below. Join me for the live streams Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern, where I break this down.
Hey, Shalom, Akim, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor that is due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, Bashim Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders, the apostles, the great millstone. Peace and blessings and salutation to the hopeful elect. Real quick, this is just a quick lesson going into these cyber attacks. This video I was watching from Dabu 7. It says, strong warnings to prepare for cyber attacks on local cities, including large energy companies. You know, like here in Missouri or Kansas City, you have what they call Evergy, then you have Evergy, and then you have what's the other one? Spire, which are the pretty much predominant energy companies in Kansas City. Missouri, I'm not sure about St. Louis County or anything like that. If they got Evergy or Spire, I'm not sure about that. But regardless of that, they're talking about hitting these particular companies in these cities because energy prices end up being out of the roof. And this is another way to bring in a global digital infrastructure, especially when they can point the finger and blame other nations for this particular attack, when in fact that America and these higher officials are the ones that be behind a lot of these so-called attacks or these staged events, because a lot of them are staged, a lot of them is planned, and this is the elite's way of trying to get the NWO. Okay, so like Dabu said, blackouts, etc., need to prepare for it, but the way we're preparing is through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Okay, we're not prepping, or we don't have doomsday bunkers, we don't have retreats we can resort to when all hell break loose, but Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai will be our fortress. And that's the whole goal, what we to have faith in, because in these days that we're coming into, miracles are going to start being performed. Okay, divine interventions, angels revealing themselves to get us out of various jams. Okay, so that's our line of defense. But regardless of it, when this happens, when the lights go out, it's going to be pretty much chaotic in these cities. Okay, because the cities are the most dangerous place in the municipalities. You know, the inner cities, you know, the ghettos, the slums, the urban areas, as they like to call it. Those places are going to get hit the hardest because that's where the most people are concentrated to, the inner cities. Mainly you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. All right. So anyway, just a couple of precepts, nothing too long. I'm actually at work, had a little downtime finally to bring in a lesson. But they blaming the Russians as usual. It says, Hatter said the Russians have a history of launching devastating cyber attacks. And it could be true. But regardless of it is, you Americans, you do the same thing. Okay, you go in different countries, you cut the power. Okay, you extract people from their homes, you torture people, you murder people. So, I mean, your Edomite counterpart, they're engaging in the same folly. But you point a finger at them, they point a finger at you. Both of you a bunch of double-minded hypocrites because you do the same shit. But it says, including some that have become calling card. It says this is sort of like a ransomware attack, except there's no ransom. It goes in, encrypts your data, and pretty much destroys everything it runs across. It's called a wiper. It says they've known for these type of attacks, but how do you even know the name of it? Like the guy said in the video, how do you, or how are they so familiar with what they're gonna call it if they wasn't behind it? Okay, because Esau Edom, man, he searched a diligent search, and this is what we, trying to get brothers to understand through the spirit, that this devil, man, he's playing both sides of the fence. Order up KO, created a scenario, come up with a solution to resolve it, even if that means taking in, well, I won't say innocent lives, but taking lives that seem to be innocent. Okay, so just a couple of precepts here, not too long. This is the book of Psalm 64, and I'm gonna start at verses 5. It says, they encourage themselves in an evil matter, they commune of laying snares privately, they say who shall see them. Right, because when you hide behind government curtains, people like Bezos, Clinton, Biden, Trump, what's this guy's name, Gates, all these men will pretty predominantly take the hit because everybody's blaming this guy Bill Gates for the Great Reset, which Klaus Schwab went into. But they blaming him for the mosquitoes, the whole C-19. They said that Gates created all this stuff. And the fact Gates is nothing more but a puppet, okay? He's nothing more but a representative of a corporation that's set to do the elite's bidding, okay? So, of course, he's going to be the fall guy for a lot of issues. But nonetheless, he's not innocent because, hey, he is investing in this whole sellout shit, okay? He is guilty of a lot of it, okay? But through the dealings with the elite bankers, because the elites are the ones that finance Bill Gates. You see what I'm saying? So that's the point. It says they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privately. They say who should see them. It says they search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. And both the inward thought of every one of them in their heart is deep. Right? The mind is deep. Okay? And it says, but the Most High should shoot at them with an arrow, and suddenly they should be wounded. So they should make their own tongue and fall upon themselves, and all that see them should flee away, right? Because all these Edomites now, they're coming against them. Like you got this guy Dabu. I don't know if he's a Jake or not, but regardless of that, hey, he's coming against them, and he's exposing them from the information that he's getting from other people. All right, so hey, this is all about hell breaking loose, because like he was saying, if this happens, hey, banks are gonna go under. People are going to lose money. That's going to lead to starvation, famine, which all this is planned. Famine, okay? Because once you have enough cyber attacks and you shut down the grids, you will have a famine. And Biden said it. He said, look, a famine is coming. Food shortage. Because they're getting ready to starve people out so people can bow down to the NWO. That's the perfect catalyst to make people accept the charagma. It's through the food, because the scriptures say buy or sell. And what's the predominantly thing of buying for Americans? Food, man, raiment. Okay, this is the book of 2nd Esdras 8, and I'm gonna start at verses 17. It says, woe is me, who would deliver me in those days? Okay, this is a question the man of the Lord are asking, because it's gonna get that bad. It says, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, and the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, and the beginning of evils. Okay, the beginning of bad times. Evil goes into bad time. Okay, Eve is time. Ill means bad tidings. Okay, that's why the scriptures say, behold, perilous times shall come in this time. People are being lovers of themselves, man. The rebelliousness of the people, okay, the disrespect of the people is at an all-time high. People are driving crazy. People are all over the place. People are breaking down. You're having 7 to 12 car pileups on an E-way, and the list goes on, man. All right, and it says, what shall I do when these evils come? But behold, famine and plague and tribulation and anguish are sent for scourges for a minute, right? These are all done to correct you Israelites, but you Israelites aren't going to see it because in your mindset, you're going to continue to harden your heart. Same thing with our people, mainly our women. They're so hardened-hearted to the point this thing is staring them right in the face, and they still continue to talk crazy and buck up against the men of the Lord. Like, how stupid can you be? You know, this is the time now that you should be watching your mouth, and anything that you do for men of the Lord doesn't give you leverage or leeway to just be a total demon, because you could be replaced ASAP. You see what I'm saying? And that's what a lot of our people don't understand. The women, same thing with us. The Most High can replace us like that if we bucking up, because the Lord is blessing us in our lives. That don't give us the tongue or the fortitude to just talk shit against the Most High. Oh, well, I went out and talked today, so I can have my way now. That's how a woman is, man. You know, she'll do something for you, and then all of a sudden she feels that she can have leverage over what you want or what you're about. In reality of it is that give you no leverage. You're just doing what you can do so the Lord can have favor on you. You don't have no leverage. All right. And a lot of you getting ready to realize that, because a lot of you getting ready to just be cut off, man. All right. And that's the spirit that the Lord is putting out there in the earth. But it says, but for all these things, they should not turn from their wickedness, nor always be mindful of their scourges. OK, because they're not like I was just breaking down. They're not going to be considerate of the stuff that they're doing. You know, Jake not considerate of the adultery, of the wickedness, of the spiritual fornication. OK, of going off. They're not seeing it that way. You know, eating abominable foods, negating the word of the Most High, but trying to establish their own righteous. Jake ain't trying to hear that, man. That's why the scripture say in the day of thy power, thy people shall be willing. But majority of you just gonna get straight up railroaded, man. A lot of you gonna get mown down, and it's gonna be a good and a uplifting sight and a relief and a breath of fresh air when we able to really put hell on you people through the spirit and power of the Lord, man. All right, it says, behold, victual should be so good, cheap upon earth, they should think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. Right? Confusion, because now things are appearing to get out of hand, but yet people thought it was going to bounce back, because now they ain't really talking about the C19, but yet they just approved of a third booster chair. All right? But it says here, and the dead should be cast out as dung, and there should be no man left to comfort them, and the earth should be wasted, and the cities shall be casted down. All right? Cyber attacks, grid outage, pitch black darkness, famine, pestilence, diseases, inclement weather, wild beasts, okay, wild niggas on the loose, you know. Verses 22, it says, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. I didn't read that, so but yeah, man, so these are the times we enter into, brothers, man. So always keep your head on the spiritual swivel, stay circumspect, put it how about your man shot first, and with that, shalom and a baba ball.